Good morning, everyone. So I wanted to just quickly talk about something that I just kind of noticed, and it's just kind of funny. Every time you see videos of a free speech rally or a free speech protest, or protesting for free speech, free speech rallies, the people who show up, more times than not, there's a bunch of bikers. There's guys who have, like the Harley Davidson, vest on, and they look like tough dudes. They look like either truckers or bikers. You know the type because you see the type. The type that go and they buy the Harley Davidsons because they ride together as a pack. I see these people all the time too, because in my town that I live in, right off the freeway, there is a giant Harley Davidson. And one of the things that Harley Davidson brags about is that they have the largest United States of America flag. The U.S. flag up there. It's ginormous. I can see it from my house. It's huge. And, oh man, these guys are patriotic motherfuckers, like they're tough motherfuckers and they're patriotic. These people aren't like, the Hells Angels or anything like that, they're just normal people who hang out together, and being bikers is like a social thing. And a lot of them are like kind of older guys or like they're not like in their 20s. If you got a guy in his 20s who's out riding bikes and shit, unless they're like from the country or something, like for instance, my brother likes motorcycles, and he goes with the Kawasaki's, and because he likes to go fast, and that freaks me out, because I don't want my brother to like die or something from getting in a car an accident or whatever. But it's just funny to me. It's like these free speechers, they show up and then you see them talk, and they're like never the ones who start violence. They're these big, giant, tough guys who are masculine, toxic masculinity, and they're the ones who are like, yeah, we should be able to say what we want to say without being, subjugated or oppressed by the government or beat the crap out of. And then the response of the puny little leftists, who are never massive in size, they generally look very feminine if they are male, or if they're female, they look a little bit more masculine, but they're still women, so they're not imposing by any means at all. Like, you have a slightly more masculine woman. What do you have? You have a feminist. You don't have you don't have a man. You don't have a man. You have a 2'2" or 5'2" woman who is a feminist and might have a slightly higher testosterone count. Maybe she's slightly stronger than the woman next to her, but she's not as strong as a man. You know what I mean? And it's like these motherfuckers, they throw cans and they pepper spray people just out of the blue. And like, you hear the other people talk, they're hanging around, and they're like, hey, let me shake your hand. And the motherfuckers won't get close to them, and then they throw cans and pepper spray them. It's like, I just want to have a conversation with you. You just want to call me a fascist and a racist and a bigot. Like, I'm walking up to you, I'm trying to shake your hand, and you throw a can at me. I'm not a violent person. You guys are the ones who are violent. And then this one guy, and he's, he looks like, attractive, regular guy. He, this was up at Evergreen State College. This guy was trying to talk to the crazy fucking SJWs up there. They were having a free speech rally or something like that up at Evergreen State College, which makes a lot of sense. If I had known about it, I might have gone, because Olympia is only a couple hours north of me, and it's my hometown and stuff. And but you know, this guy was just trying to have a conversation. They wouldn't even have a conversation. And he goes, you know, I just feel sorry for them. Because that's all they got. They're not for peace. Because if they were for peace and love and stuff, if they were against hate, they would shake my hand. But that's not what they're about. He says, I just feel sorry for them. That's all they got. All they can do is just respond with violence. They don't have any arguments. They don't have any logic or reason. I'm ad-libbing here, but, you know, this is essentially it. It's like, these people do not have any logic or reason backing them up. So the motherfuckers up at Evergreen State College, my hometown, are fucking up the reputation of their school. And this school, mind you, is a really good school for people who are really creative, because it's a lot less structured. People who are really, really creative flourish in an unstructured environment. And, you know, Evergreen is the type of person, I don't just mean creative in terms of like artsy. I mean creative in terms of lots of other things. So if you're really creative and you're really interested in electrical engineering, you know, I don't know if they have an electrical engineering program, but I'm just saying that's the type of stuff. And, you know, Evergreen State College is already this college that has this reputation of being out there. Like, the people who wrote Futurama, I think one of them went to Evergreen State College, and in one of the Futurama episodes, it's like, oh, it's the end of the world, and they're trying to gather all the smart people and all the scientists, and this one guy shows up, and he's like, I have a degree in herbology at Evergreen State College, and then somebody else responds with, you have a degree in nothing. It was funny because it's true. It's like, and it's not true. Like, people there who go there can be very intelligent, and there's lots of respectable people who do go there. It's just that it's become a breeding ground for the other insane type of people, and this is something disturbing to me. My mother told me that she thought that she might have seen my ex-best friend up at Evergreen State College while all this shit was going around. And I mean, like, watching videos. And, it's a little disturbing to me, because what this signifies is that what's going on campus might not even be all the students. It might be the people in the town, too, going to Evergreen just to go fucking cause chaos. You see a huge number of students or whatever, but there's a lot of people, there's people my age there who are kind of crazy, you know, social justice warrior people, and I would not be surprised if they came from the community and went to the college to go protest, even though they're not, you know, students there or whatever. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was happening while the shit was actually going down. You know, like, oh, there's a protest. This is what they think. They go, oh, 99%. I'm part of the 99%. I need to go protest. And it's like, so my ex-best friend, I used to think she was sane, because it was like the 99% thing. At first, when she first heard about it, she was like, no, that's stupid. Right? And then, like, I don't know, maybe a couple months later, I was talking to her again, and she was, like, totally for it. It was the weirdest thing. She totally just buys into everything. And this is why I think it's very plausible that she was actually there. Now, I haven't seen the video, so I can't say for certain, but it makes sense. And she's a freak. I'm sorry, but, you know, you look at the woman, she looks like a freak. She's got green hair. My goodness. And these big giant glasses. this big, they look terrible on her. They make her everything that she does to herself. She doesn't take care of her. She's just gaining weight, and she looks like she may have lost a little and grown out her hair, which is great, but goddamn girl, you really, really need to get out of this fucking shit. This is not going to end up well for you, and I say this with love. And that's the thing. I wish I could talk to her with love. But she sees love as hate, so it's pointless. It's like when you love somebody, you gotta fucking tell them. You gotta be like, honey, you gotta get some help for yourself. That's what my parents said to me. They sat me down because I was really depressed and I was crying all the time, and they said, Courtney, you need to fucking go get on medication. I didn't say it in those words. Those are me ad-libbing. But they were like, honey, you gotta go go to the doctor and go get on medication again. This is just something you're gonna have to do. This is just something that's genetic in our family. And it's like, oh, okay. Okie dokie. I guess if that's what I gotta do to make myself better. And it was like, when you have to be able to speak truthfully to the people you love. And I couldn't do that anymore with her. And it was so frustrating to me. You know, it was like, at the end, like, she got this shitty haircut that was, like, up to here, and it was, like, horrible and stuff. And, like, it's not cute like mine is, right? Like, I have short hair, but it's adorable. Like, I've got, like, wavy hair, and I'm starting to lose weight, so, like, my face looks good with this hair right now. And, I'm really happy about it. I'm down from, like, my lowest weight, like, 3 or 4 years ago. So I'm actually losing weight for once. It's fantastic. It's great. And I hope to drop at least 10 more pounds over the summer. My goal was to get under 200 pounds this summer, and that's like 5 pounds. So I weighed myself yesterday morning. I was 205 pounds, and 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever, I weighed 209 pounds. And then when I was dating my ex, I got up to like, I think 230 pounds. Yeah, I was really overweight. So I've lost like 25 pounds, which is fucking awesome. I feel a lot better. I'm a lot stronger. I'm a lot healthier. Sorry for the little side tangent. I hope that brings a smile to your face, though. It brings a smile to my face. But, yeah, it's really important to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you turn into a social justice warrior. Let's just face it. That's just what happens. And you can't speak truth to these people. You can't speak love to them. You can't be like, honey, you got to change. You can't be like that because you are the enemy. See, the reason why it worked with my parents is because I don't see them as the enemy. They're not the enemies to me. They're my parents. They love me, and they help me as I'm learning how to take care of myself. And, you know, which is kind of hard for me, because I'm not the most independent person in the entire world when it comes to the material world. So, you know, one of the things that my dad likes to tell me is that him and mom like to help people who help themselves. And my dad is a person who he might give just a little bit of excessively, if you know, he's the type of man who, like, you're like, don't be a cis white straight male, you're oppressive. And then you meet my dad, and he's a white straight cis hetero male person, and he's like the most giving person I know. He's like, oh, this charity needs money, you know, things that are important to him. But it's like, oh, the church needs money for mission trips? I'll give money for mission trips. Oh, there's a spaghetti dinner? I'll volunteer. Oh, the spaghetti dinner needs some money donated to buy materials? Oh, I'll donate some money. Oh, and then at the you know, on and on. It's like, oh, I give $20 to the church every month. You know, and it's not just the church, by the way. It's not just a religious thing. It's because he's not the most religious person. I would say he's spiritual. He's not super religious, though. And, like, Christianity is important to him, I think, mostly for the community aspect and because he needs something to feed himself spiritually. And he follows the paths of both Christianity and Buddhism. So, Buddhism, it helped him gain more control over his mind so that he could be less angry of a person. He found a lot of help in Buddhism, which I think is fantastic. That's what you're supposed to use the teachings of these teachers for. Christianity is supposed to be about living by certain principles. The certain principles of loving people and stuff. And, you know, it's funny to watch these big barker guys, these guys who are masculine and hetero and stuff, trying to show love to these people by walking up and being like, and trying to accept them. They're opening their arms, so they're trying to shake their hand. They're walking up to them to try to start a conversation. These people, I don't know what you would call that other than love, okay? I don't know what you would call that other than love. These people are showing the other people love, and the other people don't want the love. They don't want you to love them because you're the enemy. Why would you want your enemy to love you? But there's this idea that was spread by Christianity, right? That the idea spread by Christianity to love your enemy, right? And so the idea is that when we are enemies and we show our enemy love, that means we talk things through. That means we come together. We try to shake their hands. Jesus, you know, he said, if someone smacks you, turn the other cheek so they can smack the other one. And to a certain extent, that's very true. And from what I saw up in Evergreen State College, that was what was happening. The guy was getting shit thrown at him. People were pepper spraying him. And he was just trying to share the love, you know? Like, he was, yeah, they're enemies. But what he was doing was not hate, it was love. Because hate means you want to kill, you want to hurt. That's what the other side is doing. They want to hurt, they want to kill. Right? And I don't mean like they want to actually kill, but like they want to create violence. They want to hurt people. They want to hurt these people. They throw cans at them. They pepper spray them. They want to cause them suffering. They are being malicious. They are the ones who are hating. The side of the free speech rallies and the biker people clubs and whatnot who hang out at these free speech rallies. And, you know, it's good that they're there because they really do provide a lot of security. And, you know, I feel pretty good about having a giant Harley Davidson, you know, mile down the road from my house, and it's like, okay, there's shit ton of bikers around here. There's no way in hell there would be any fucking Antifa show up. Like, do you realize if there was ever, like, a situation in Gladstone that there's a giant Harley Davidson where lots of bikers hang out, and so if there was ever shit going on, they would probably all congregate over there to go break shit up if it was like Antifa shit. Like, I feel like really safe in my hometown. These people, they're just trying to show you love. If somebody is trying to tell you something, you don't have to take it as an insult. But here's the thing. If you think that the other person is your enemy, and you don't love your enemy, right? Then you can't be friends. You can't ever transition from being enemy to being friends. You have to show your enemy love. And so part of love is speaking the truth. So I want to say this to my best friend. If you ever fucking see this, you know, I love you to fucking death. I want you to fucking know that. Like, I say this out of love. You need to fix your shit. You have turned into a horrible fucking person. You are racist and you are a fucking pig. And I say this out of love because I don't want you to be that way. I want you to fix yourself. I want you to become the loving, caring, compassionate, intelligent person that I know you can be. Because that's who you are. You have value, you have worth, you are a special person. Why would have I hung out with you for so many years in our childhood if you weren't special? You are special. You are incredibly creative. You have the world at your fingertips. If only you would take the reins of your life and take control. Do you understand that? I love you. You need to take control of your life. Working at that goddamn gardening place is not going to do you well for the rest of your life. You have to plan ahead. And you can make your life worth living. You can make your life worth more than just cannabis. You can make your life worth more than just your boyfriend. You can make your life worth more than just hate. You can make your life worth love. You can make your life worth success. And success is perfectly within your range of capability. One of the things I'm looking into is becoming a dental hygienist. And the reason why is it's like, it would be like, maybe you're going to have 2 years of school for me. And then I could go get a job making $60,000 to $80,000 a year. Probably on the lower end to begin with. So like, let's say $50,000 to $60,000 a year to start off with. And then once you go get like 2 years of experience, people start paying you like $35 to $40 an hour to be a dental hygienist. And sometimes there's even like job opportunities where it's like, I need somebody 1 day a week for 8 hours at $42 an hour. That's pretty good. If you're a mom working part-time like I want to be, and you're like, okay, I can go work 8 hours for $42 an hour once a week. Or you find 2 different places like that, and it's like, okay, working 2 days a week, and then the rest of the time I get to spend with my kids, or something like that, you know? So, there are ways you can become successful in your life, and not have to do lots of hard labor and stuff. I mean, I don't mean this like derogatory, but there's ways that you can do things in a smart way where you can do things that are going to make you more money than like going to college right now to go get a bachelor's degree. If you think you're going to get a job off of that, unless you get something really, really specific, like engineering, nursing, something like that, you're not going to be able to get a good job afterwards. I know this. So listen to me, please. Do something that is going to get you a job skill that you can work at a job day after day that's interesting enough to hold your curiosity, but not so draining that you're exhausted constantly. I think that's the best middle path to go in terms of that. And I say these things, there's opportunities, there's things within everybody's reach that they could reach out for and grasp a higher level of themselves or a higher level of success. And you know, you just gotta be smart about it. You just gotta think about it. And, you know, I wish that I could get her to listen to me, you know. She's never going to, because I'm white. And that's the thing. That is what is so hurtful. She didn't want to listen to me. She didn't want to hear my opinion. She didn't fucking care, because I was the enemy, because I was white. These feminists, they screech about toxic masculinity, but the men who are dripping with this toxic masculinity are the ones that want to show you love. They want to speak the truth. They want to have freedom. They want you to have freedom. They want to be your friend, not your enemy. They're trying to show you love. These men dripping with toxic masculinity. They're causing violence with their words. No, they're not. Their words are peaceful. You're causing violence by your actions. You have violent rhetoric. We don't. We say, you're a fucking cuck. No, that's so bad. We say, we laugh at your pussy hats, you know? Like, we make fun of you. That's not violence, you dumb shits. What you people are doing when you say, oh yeah, I wish I could blow up the White House, when you hold up a picture, a beheaded image of Donald Trump like an ISIS member, when you tweet out about how you want to go scout Nazis, oh yeah, that's not going to incite violence at all. And yet, somehow, we're the haters, we're the racists, we're the oppressors. We're trying to yell at you, we want freedom. Don't you want freedom too? And you're screeching at us, no, you're oppressing us by your existence. I don't understand the logic. These kids have no critical thinking skills. That's all I can think, is there no critical thinking skills. They're not capable of it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's so baffling to me that these people just get brainwashed into this shit. And then there's some of them who start to see the violence and the hatred from their side, and they start to go, holy shit. And now you have tweets that are like Lacey Green saying, you know, that not everything is bigotry, not everything is racism, you know. You have her tweeting out shit like that instead of the typical feminist rhetoric. Mind you, she still considers herself a feminist, but she's showing love. She's not showing hate right now. She's learning to expand herself. You people need to learn how to expand yourselves and learn how to love not only other people, but learn to love yourselves. Please. Last thing I want to just touch on real quick is the whole racism of these people. You know, they're all colored or partially colored. A lot of them are mixed. My best friend, she was half Mexican, half white. And when she was younger, she hated Mexicans. She hated specifically Mexican men because they were sleazy. And her mother was promiscuous. As I said in my other video, good woman, but had her issues. And she did not like Mexicans, and she'd grown up in that kind of culture. She didn't like the machismo sort of masculine dominance in that culture and whatnot, which is understandable. And so when she was young, she'd hang out a lot with me. She had a white grandmother. She had other white friends and friends of other ethnicities. When I was growing up in Olympia, Washington, it really was like a melting pot. Like, I had an Indian friend, I had lots of Asian friends, I had a half Afghani friend, half Mexican friend. You know, there's a significant population of Hispanics in the area. There's a significant population of black people, because I would see these people all over my high school. I used to think that our area was whitewashed, but now I'm looking back on it, there was a lot of people of different races in our area. And so it was never a thing when I was, like, growing up. I never, like, thought about it, and I never considered it as a thing. But she didn't like Hispanic men, right? And she never really liked her body. And, you know, I don't know. I was better proportioned, but I was, you know, still chubby and awkward and shit. And, you know, she'd make fun of me and whatever. And, you know, it was all good-natured when we were younger. And it's just interesting. She doesn't seem to have any self-love for herself. And I think that's part of the problem. You don't have any self-love, that you can't love other people, right? So instead, you turn to violence, you turn to hate, you turn to hateful rhetoric, you turn to misandrous practices, you turn to actually acting out on your violent impulses and anger. You have no self-love, you don't feel like you're worth it. You know, if you reject one part of of who you are when you're young, you know, the Hispanic side or whatever, and then as you grow up, you decide the other half of yourself is also an enemy, then you have no love for yourself. And I feel like maybe a lot of these social justice warriors just don't have any love for themselves. Now, obviously, fucking Lacey Green's a lot different. She also obviously has a lot of self-worth and a lot of self-respect for herself. And you know, and I also think this is why it's such a culture of reassurance and whatever they want to call it, or so on. You understand what I'm talking about. It's constantly like, no, you are good enough. You are good enough. It's like, it's because all of them are fucking depressed and they don't have any self-worth. It's really hard not to hate yourself and the world when you don't have any self-love, when you view yourself as the enemy and you don't understand that you're supposed to love the enemy, because you are the enemy. You are the enemy in your own self, and these people don't understand that. You have to fight your own demons to begin with, because you are the enemy, and you have to speak truth to yourself, because that's how you love yourself, sweetheart. You have worth, God damn it. And if you don't want to fucking see that, I'm sorry. But I'm going to keep saying this over and over again, because you people need to fucking hear this. You need to listen. You need to understand that you have worth, and that you need to love the enemy inside yourself, so that you can learn to love the enemy outside of yourself. You can learn to love the people who you disagree with, so that you don't want to kill them because they have different ideas than you. That's all an enemy is. An enemy is someone who does not share your view of reality. Well, here's this thing, sweetheart. Anybody can be your enemy. Everyone can be your enemy. If that's the way you want to live your life, then you are 110% alone. Because everyone is your enemy. Nobody knows your experience. Nobody lives in your universe. You are the only one who knows your existence, who knows your life. We call it a phrenological field, I believe. And it's this concept that other people don't know what you know, right? If you experience a thing, like I had a dream when I was 2 years old, and I believe that it was a spirit of Sophia, but I can't objectively prove that to you. No, hell no, I can't do that. I'm not even going to claim that I can. I'm not going to claim that it's true. I'm just going to say this is what I think. But you can't experience that dream. You can't tell me I didn't have it, right? Right? We can't. So anybody who comes in and says that I didn't have that dream, I didn't have that experience, that wasn't real, then that person is questioning my reality. They're my enemy. Now I can respond with hatred, and which would lead to feelings of anger, resentment, irritation, and rage, and then maybe if it was significant enough to the point of violence, and potentially, and this is, well, wars tend to start over resources, of course. They can be ideological or they can be resource driven. I'm talking about just interpersonal stuff right now, but it's like nobody else knows what you're going through. Nobody else understands. You can feel angry about that, or you can choose to love your enemy, the enemy inside yourself, which is you. You are your enemy. And you can learn to love the enemies outside of yourself, which is the other people who don't understand your universe, which is everyone. Everyone. So, choose love. Don't choose hate. And it's just really funny that these guys who are super masculine and could beat the fucking living shit out of these little twats, they're the ones showing love. Just think about that.